Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're here taking a look at MAZZEL and their dance practice Only You. Now, I know they have a music video and a performance version, but we're going to take a look at that after this because 9 times out of 10 when I look at a J-pop affiliated group, everything gets blocked except for the dance practice. So in order for you guys to see my true first reaction to the song and to the dance, we're gonna look at the dance practice because I have a really good feeling these make it onto YouTube mighty fine. So I'm ready. I hope you are. Let's watch. Come on, dramatic head. That was fun. Wow, it's giving like a 2000s serenade at net. It's the snap in it. Ooh. Really enjoyed that moment that we saw with the fingers. Ooh. Like that bounce, bounce, bounce out of it too. I appreciate the wait for that.
Sunday 君に会いたくて Monday 不安になっちゃって Tuesday からさせて泣いちゃって Friday 会いに来たよまたなって
Oh, cool.
なんか肌寒くなって心配になっちゃったってだけ本当にそれだけでもせっかく会えたしどんなことがあったとか教えてよねもう誰にも
Okay. Super lot of uniformity, but this is not the same type of track that we've seen in some of their other works, and that is absolutely fine. You need to have these types of structures in your discography, especially when you're singing live. It's nice to have variety. It's a fun drive to it. I really like the usage of breath. Wipe it away, brother. Come on now. I wonder if they accidentally tickle their hand when they do that. Only you. Oh, that's so nice. Good. That was really nice. I enjoyed that. Now, do they have the same thing that I see? I don't think so. I know with, what is it, Be First, their tracks, they have audio overlay and then they have, you can hear what's going on in the video. And for this, I like that we get to hear what's in the I like that we get to have the audio overlay so I can hear the song for what it is before diving into it, because of, like I said, this is my first reaction to the song and to the dance at the same time, which is really nice. And side note too, I will look at the other things like the performance version and music video, but that'll be on Patreon because it will most likely not clear for YouTube based on my format that I have them, which is I'm like in a little bubble. But we're here for a good time nonetheless. Okay, we're gonna put a 0.75 and dive in. The only thing I can't really touch on is, of course, the wordplay opportunities. So just kind of know that we're kind of going in blind in that sense, but we can talk about other things such as the breath and tone and the type of sounds that we have that resonate. So like I mentioned, this definitely has a 2000s uplifting sound to it that you can probably hear in a movie, I'm sure. But I really like that we start where you have two of them just hanging out in the back. You got a group of 6, 3 and 3, moving forward on tempo. Love a good tempo walk. It goes a long way. So people get to their spots whenever they get to them, which is absolutely fine, but everybody made sure that they factored in their tempo. So we turn that stage left side, rotates around first, followed by stage right, and then we rotate from the back. So I like that that was a nice little finish to start your first feature. He walks forward, then we slide away. Everybody moves in opposition to that stage left side. I like the shoulder. So it's the same choreography. Well, hold on. No, it's the, same choreography, but I would say my feature learned it the opposite direction, where it looks like he's, going counter current, right? He's going against the current and flow, which is really cool, but it helps make him naturally stand out much easier. Then they do a little ball change to reset those feet. And then I like the exchange here because it ties into what we just saw in the intro. So I like that we had a little connection. We traced along the back of each other. Use that to rotate like a revolving door. Everyone's frozen. Take the arms up. Notice that we're not just lifting the arm and sending it down. We're having this resolve, this lingering feeling, this breath. In ballet in the studio world, it'd be an allongé. There's a breath added to it. And so having that throughout most of our movement really does help and make all of our moves connect just through this lingering feeling that you see in the extremities, which is really cool. So he has a little moment, little hug moment, living it up. Everybody else is joining there. Then we all turn, rotate to the inside. Our previous feature is still standing, so it looks like he's, still looking down, but directionally facing the next feature. So that was really nice on everybody's part to drop a level so we can see that feature. Now he says, come on, head. Really nice. He drops it down and we move. Arms get raised up here. And then he takes his arms, sends them up to match everybody, even though he's facing a different direction, and they started up to get sent down. So I like the opposition. So it looks like we're filling up our space. So they step back. I love the reach. They end up placing the arms more so in front, which is really nice. Then they trace it down really nice. They turn. Come on now. Then it turns into I believe I want to call that an add-on. Yeah, so they're joining in. So they're not resolving the move, but they hold it, waiting for everybody to join in. And I like that it matches da, da, da on his vocals. And they end up doing a little run and they take it, and I like the trace happening on that as well. Then we face the back, drop it low. And I like that we have opposition in our middle group to help in framing our feature. And it looks like my back group, ooh, come on now. Front row is facing towards that stage right side. Middle is opposite, and then you have your feature and center. And then your back row is facing the stage left side. I love that because it's balanced, right? It's very interesting. And then they end up taking it through, boom, boom. I like the interruption of that motion with the elbow. Completing the line, they separate it, and they get it to the head. Send it over to the side. I really like that we have it, then we speed change. Notice they're not frozen. They hit it and they're sinking into it as they take the hand, using the fingers to help create a flow, to get it signaled to the other hand to lift it up. Then it turns into a fixed point to get our head to match where that arm is going. They open it up, once again, lingering moment, then we all break off. And because you have such a quick transition of running or frolicking is what I would call it more so, with the speed change, it really shows a great contrast. And it eventually has your feature be the only one not moving as aggressively, and it's not even aggressive, but as pedestrian-like as everybody else. It's cool. New feature. well, not really new feature. My guy over here, because the spacing's a little, what is it? It's not, I don't know if it's off per se, but it does look like his spacing between those in front and back. It makes him stand out in a way that if he is our feature, we can see him, but if he's not, it did make my eye go to stage right before it went center. So that would be an observation to refine if I was in the space and we were just doing a run through. But for dance practice, we pick our battles. I don't know if this is just what always happens or if it's just a one-time thing. The twinkle is nice. I really like the speed change here with the twinkle of the fingers. It's great. Then they ball change to rotate around. Then we speed change again. We're dropping nice and low. Now, this definitely, I would say, is probably one of their simpler choreographies and not as difficult in terms of the body and how, like the physicality, the demand of doing it. However, your body is still engaged the whole time. In order to get a speed change to work as many times as they're doing it, using this torso, making sure that core is engaged and that back's engaged, and anytime you're lengthening through the fingers, everything has to be in control and your range has to match those around you dynamically, meaning the timing in which you have one member to another going from one place to another, they have to kind of be on the same page in order for it to read, especially when you have a feature operating in opposition either dynamically or in levels or in content. So I think this is really great. So there, next feature alert. So I kind of clocked him early. I don't know if it was just he was doing what he was doing to prep for the singing section. I don't know. But he could have dropped a level personally, but that's okay. So they have the arms, they bleed it, they have it, and then they let it linger. Very similar to whenever you throw a ribbon and you see it descend. It's like that. Come on now, we walk, new spot, he reaches, when the music drops out, so it looks like he opens up with his arm, like he's about to do something with that hand. It's cool. Come on, head, now we go. And I like how we take it from the neck, we rotate it around, different formation. We got a V, but we also have everybody being seen, even though it's not technically mirrored or it's symmetrical. I think that's fine. It's still, you can see everybody. We prioritize that. They grab it, sending it down, rotate it through. Are they doing a little wave here? Let's look. They take it, they look, bring it down, and then they just, not even rotate, but they end up waving it. And they take it to the head, boom, boom. And then we have it, we set it, and then we ball change through it, twinkle the fingers, and then we bring it to the hand here. Then we tickle our hand. I'm gonna call that a tickle hand. That's cute. Then we open it through. Could it be a word play? Most likely, I'm sure. And then they go into a bedrock. So they take the arms. Honestly, you could low-key pull it as a James Brown, just depends on context because this isn't funk. I'm gonna lean it more to a bedrock. It's roll down of the ball of the foot to the heel, and you have it directionally change, and the other foot is extending out. Now, you could also pull, depending on what the other foot is doing and what style you're wanting to represent. Could be a lotus, which is what you see in house. But yeah, we're gonna go bedrock today. And I like that we have it polyrhythmic, where you have nice fullness in the lower body, and then you have the smooth transition in the torso to go up. It's really cool. And I like the pause before finishing out the pas de bourrée on the next section. Then we rotate it through. I really like this choreography on them. There is a lot of unison, sure, but I don't think it's a choreography meant for complexity in formations. I think that's fine. I think it's nice to have tracks like this, and it makes me more intrigued on what other choreographies they do have. We've seen a couple MAZZEL stuff already, so I know it to a certain degree what we can see showcased. So I like the fact that they do have this, because this is the first time I'm seeing them touch on this realm within my exposure of the group. So I think that's cool. And this is more my bread and butter of movement anyway. It just feels good. The movement feels good to the track, which is why the musicality matches. And it allows them the freedom to be able to enjoy dancing with each other, but also dancing and focusing on their fans as well. So the pull is nice. So I like that we have our groups go from the outside. So they travel to the inside, they have the arms up, and they're about to bounce it. Ding, ding, ding. And I really like that. Da, da, da. High to low, because we had a higher tone there. And then we have the pull down of the arm, and then we take the knees, they go out and in. That reminds me, there's a choreography by Rise, Boom Boom Bass. That one is like so much more aggressive on the bass representation, but I really do like once again, the polyrhythmic side of this, where it's very subtle and controlled in the upper body, and more of a bounce represented with the knees taking up a lot of space in the realm of movement. Using it to transition forward, rotating the arms through. The pull away is nice, and I like that your feature is in center. He pulls away, and it causes this this pass off on extending and spacing out the formation more. He pulls it out in, and I really like that we have a fold. I don't know if it's here or here. Oh, it's here. It's here. Okay, because his hair is blonde and his skin tone is similar to the hair color. It's really hard to clock the index finger, but I really like this. Everybody else is holding their hands together. The step back, notice there's weightiness to it, and how do we see that? Fringe will show that, where if you like step or move, it gives away. It's like a lie detector almost on how much effort you're putting in. But whenever you step back, there's a rigidness in the weight shift where we're not bending to brace for impact. We're just letting the impact happen to have a reverb at the end. So that's really nice. And notice there's even a little step back where it's full and grounded, but there's a lift in the torso. So there's hope, right? It's like it's heavy, but we can do it, right? So I love that opposition in that pool there. It shows complexity of emotions, because we see and project to ourselves that when we view other people that we're like, oh, they have it together emotionally, we think very one-dimensional, where they only experience one emotion. And so when we experience complex emotions such as grief and joy, we feel like they can't exist at the same time. But we experience more times than not multiple feelings at the same time, just depends on circumstance. And that's why we feel confused a lot of times. So I like that movement wise, as I'm uncovering what that looks like in my personal life, we get to see it reflected in movement, such as having something really heavy, but still something that lifts. And that's the beauty of polyrhythms. Love it. So they point it forward, the only you, they pick it up, and I like the kicks to move forward. Then they bring it in to the chest, lift it up, and I like the rotation of those wrists is really nice. And then you have your feature, extend that arm out. He deviates from the structure of the formation. And they place the arms down, they pass them, send them around, and I like the rotation or just that swish and flick of that arm to get them to directionally change to face the mirror, it looks like on the side. He does a reach away, so you had direction contrast. They go to the front, they lift it up. Come on now. And then it looks like we're about to start a body roll. We kind of let it rest in the chest. It's cool. We open it up. Come on now. Now we're taking it with one arm connected to the shoulder. Elbow is up. Then you have it wrap around the chest. And come on, dramatic moment, party of you. Then they have that sound, and they're still dropping to match that. Next feature, he's the only one who's not gonna be, continuing that. He pulls it forward. It looks like he's on the phone now. You still have your previous feature. I like the fact that we're not ignoring that they were just there having their moment. We're letting them linger too, not just in the content, but in where they were. I really like that. And then we have the little phone, and now look, it looks like they're connected and actually having a conversation. Super cool. The pools are nice. And then we have our little serenade wingmen on the side to help frame our feature there. So he sets it back, and he's still living his life. I really like the lingering, not just in content, but in formation structure. They pull it around. Boom, come on now. Very cool. Then he have a little tear. I'm assuming it's talking about something on more of the sadder side, right? And I love that little trace. It gives a lot of information, doesn't it? And then we do a little pull into the head, and then he rotates around. Come on now, that ball change, and I like the tension of the speed change on the arms. Looks great there. Then we end up sending it with the shoulder to shoulder. They open it up, clap it in, and then we have the arms back. We do a kick, and then we have a little moment pressing around, and then we have good tension pulling through. We open it up. The kicks are nice. Everybody else is walking to their next spot, and they bring it to the inside. Come on now, serenade party of 6. Then they bring it and present to the inside. He is lingering, meaning he's not going to follow what the masses do. There's a lot of this counter current that we're seeing throughout, but it's packaged in different ways, which is why it's really nice to digest and be curious about, despite a lot of the unison we see. It's cool. And then he has another moment, but he doesn't do it the same way that everybody else does. He goes, have my moment, let's go. Then we have a little slide. You have your two that we just saw that branched or curtain transitioned off. Now they're joined back to the formation, new reveal and center. Now same choreo as before with a lift up. Is it the same? Yeah. I don't know, actually. I think part of it is we repackaged because the formation's different, and I like that we used the content to transition instead of just walking there. which helps you appreciate when they do walk. Because if all they did was walk from one place to another, then it would kind of come off like a missed opportunity for transitions. But here, seeing that you're diving into both areas, it feels intentional, which makes me as an audience viewer be able to look and appreciate all the choices, not just the focal point moments that they want us to see. The pull away is nice, the punch down is nice, we switch it off, and then we end up having the moment over to the side. Good tension, body roll is nice. We twinkle the fingers, and then nice little tap onto the chest. Points are nice. Tap the chest again, and then we open it up. I really like the fullness of the lean in that torso going to the stage right side. Then we have the arms moving in opposition to each other to make it a full moment. Really nice. They said moment. We're seeing it. So we go twinkle, twinkle. Then you have the same point choreo. Now, I have an observation here. My guy right here, it does look like he doesn't utilize as much groove compared to others. And I think part of it comes from how he settles in choices like this. Because I noticed he didn't really drop a level the same way everybody else did. So he became subconsciously on my radar. But now I'm seeing him a little bit more here, even with the subtlety and the leans. It looks more, he's staying centered, right? His bounce doesn't have a resolve or a comfort to it. So I'm just very curious. Can you guys tell me more about Mr. Long Sleeve Gray is what we'll call him today. But he's technically long sleeve gray, but I'm going to call that, he's going to be Mr. I don't know, ball cap, because he only want a ball cap. So that's Mr. Long Sleeve Gray today. The pull-aways are fun. Then we have a little moment. And I like that. Now everybody else is doing what we saw the first feature of this section do, and now we have our feature extend out, and everybody does that with the nice fullness, and they're not facing directionally in different places. They're all facing the same place. You walk away, the point, pick up with the kicks are nice. We punch it. Well, not really punch, we press. And then we lift it, like the rotation of the hands. Fold it down, we open it down, 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 side, side, up, but we don't finish it up like we're predicting them to. They actually take it, use it to rotate. That helps it not look so predictable, which means, okay, if I'm chewing on this movement or I'm chewing on the chorus, because that's what we do as humans, is we like to process and create patterns. And so there's going to be a lot of times when you look at a choreography, and you don't have to be a professional choreographer or a professional dancer or somebody who does choreography for a living to pick up on these things. That's what being a layman's all about. Whenever you're looking at something and you're creating patterns with what you watch, especially with a group or with a genre of movement, you're going to be able to kind of make some guesses as to how movement is going to operate depending on what you're hearing, because you associate the movement to music. We are full of musicality all the time, and it's beautiful to see. So for example, when we see a pattern going low, low, side, side, up, what do we think? We're gonna go up. But because they went down, down, side, side, up, rotate, it made it where it caught us off guard, but not in a way that, at least for me, made it feel like we missed an opportunity to complete it. It felt like we are intentionally changing and shifting the direction or changing our pattern so we can make a new pattern, which can help in complexity, which I really like. It's subtle, but it still matters. It's nice, especially when you're doing something on the simpler side. Simple doesn't mean easy. Those little details can really help in pushing simple, but still making it enchanting, which is nice. So the trace downs are really fun. He opens it, and I like the little brush, like he's brushing in the air in the space, and I like that everybody's moving through that, and they have their little pulls, that little resolve there. He lingers it, and then we have a new feature. He gets sent all the way down. I'm gonna guess he's my next feature. Just kidding, he's not. He just moved really fast compared to everybody else, which I think is fine. So and also too, on the spacing, he's stepped a little far out. So I'm curious if he's going to be our next feature after our center, because that's what happened to our Mr. Longsleeve Gray guy too. So they open it, they walk it. So I like that we're mirrored on the sides. We're walking on tempo. We love it. And then we step, notice that we step and we're letting it linger through our weight shift. So we're not having to do an extra step or anything. We're established. We started from the heel and we moved the weight to the ball of the foot. So we stay balanced, stayed in control, all that good stuff. Of course, the spacing's a little bit off here. I would move everybody over here just a smidge to the stage right side, but I think that's fine. It's just simply because we're not able to have equal spacing between our feature and then our previous member. And then we look to the inside, but then it got fixed. But then if anything, it actually promotes balance because it worked well like the first course where we saw somebody catty corner our feature in center. So I'm gonna lean it more in that direction, like it's a balance choice, because it's all chill here and they just rotated to the front. Oh man, it wasn't just a tear, it was a full-on cry. Ooh, he wiped that away fast. He opens it. I like that we do, this is the choreography. Okay, so instead of doing a different choreography at the end, like what you normally see, remember predicting elements, what I'm normally conditioned to see is same choreo, maybe change the formation, and then at the end it's a new choreo. Here they did first choreo, changed it, went back to first choreo. So they did a little Oreo of choreo. Love it. So the press away is nice. So we've seen this. Second course we didn't. They rotate it, nice twinkling it in, twinkle, tickle twinkles of the fingers into the bedrock. And then they bring it up, very polyrhythmic once again. Pas de bourrée is nice, we open it, and we pull it in. Pull is nice. So he goes in and I really like the bounce on that because you're not expecting it, you're just expecting this drop. Once again, another unpredictable element that got thrown in, but it still enhances the simplicity of it. Boom, bring it in, rotate it through, pull and pull, same as before. Then they pull little rigid steps. Only you. Come on, kicks. Press it away, up, rotate it. Low, low, mid, up, and they rotate. So that part was the same in all the courses, but how we framed it leading up to it was different. So that's cool. And those things do matter because if I'm watching and digesting and then I see a segment of movement, how I'm gonna listen or hear that movement is gonna be dependent on context of what I was watching before I watched that. And so now that we see it bookended, we still get to appreciate it, but we're not gonna be expecting it as much because of how the rest of the choreography was made. Then I bring it to the shoulder, and I like that he has a lingering finish, and he has a little, he's like high note and twinkling, taking his good old sweet time. Well done to that. And then they all continue to trace, and you have that, so that moment there is dependent on how he sings that section. And I appreciate the risk taking when we do have choreographers that do that, because that means he has to be able to deliver that vocal every time in order for that to read. I love the risk. And I think he's fully capable of it too. I like the lift back is nice. Come on, walk. We take it and we twinkle the fingers and we bring it to the chest. And then we have a nice open moment. And we look up. Only you. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thought it was nice, and it had a nice conclusion, a good resolve, and it does make me curious about the lyrics, which I will be able to uncover in the music video. Thank you guys for watching with me, and of course always recommending MAZZEL whenever we drop content and they drop a new comeback, because that makes me encouraged, and it also lets me know what you guys want me to review too. It's a nice little marketing research per se. So yeah, I want to hear from you with this track. What were some elements that you really liked? For me, I liked the breadth of it, and I really liked that it was different than a lot of the other tracks that I have seen them do. Now, I haven't seen very much, but I've seen some stuff, right? And continuing to appreciate groups like MAZZEL in the future. I'm Jess, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.